What's happening, people? This is Smiler in the building, chilling with my people down at the Guestlist network.
Portfolio. Yeah. My flow will light you up quickers, the dynamite stickers. Fire I'm spitting for the final life bitches. 5'9" slickers, Einstein, nigga, I'm a changed man. Still they judge me on my priors like Richard. Throwing up the big yellow and D-O-N. Whenever Smiler's flowing, they say he went sewing. I rate going, simple and plain like a Bowen. Sparkle like a diamond, aura stay glowing.
So where did the name Smiler come from?
It's just kind of stuck with me. The name Smiler is something that, one of the older guys in the area, sort of called me at a point. I started to graffiti it, to be honest. When you're young and you tag, and, I started to write it. And then one of the elders in the area said, that name really suits you. I always sort of had a smile on my face, regardless of circumstances. So, yeah, it stuck with me.
Nice. Let's see you smile right now.
I'm always smiling.
Okay, so tell us about your beginning in music, how you got started, how you got interested.
I started writing to hip-hop anyway in 2001 after listening to, the all-time greats, such as the Tupacs and Biggies, without sounding cliche. Also Nas, AZ, a lot of the Queensbridge rappers. I just loved their flow, and, I picked up the pen and pad to see if I could sort of emulate what they were doing. Naturally, the earliest rhymes were a little bit, do you know what I mean? But after time, practice, etc., I'm here today.
Nice. So is there anything specific that you were appealed to by, like, rapping, the life? Was it the poetry of it? What was it?
Yeah, it was, it was just the rhythmics, the way they put words together, the subject matter, the way they made, the things make sense, the metaphors, and just the way that they were so descriptive in their surroundings and their upbringings and what they went through, the obstacles that they had to overcome. I really resonated with it.
What do you think the message is then, like, to your audience? And is it directed towards people who grew up similar to you, or is it to everyone?
It's not just for those who grew up similar to me. It's for everybody who wants to listen and kind of gain an insight as to how Smiler grew up. My story is not that much different from a lot of people in the world. A lot of people are coming out of deprived backgrounds and, sort of trying to turn nothing into something, excuse me. So, I felt like I just illustrated, the way I did it. I feel like, you can do the same thing as 20 other people, but everybody's got their own unique way of doing it.
Okay, so what have you been up to lately?
Lately, I've been working on new music, putting my debut album together. I've also just come off tour with an Irish band called the Original Rude Boys, a great band. Also, I've had a few festivals. Yeah, I performed at the Wireless Festival, which was at the Olympic Stadium this year. It was a great experience. Last year I didn't really get an opportunity to do the festival circuit, so straight after Wireless I headed over to Hyde Park, where I did the Barclaycard Festival too. So it was a busy day, it was a busy week. I have a few more things coming up in terms of festivals, which I can't yet announce, but I'm going to be real busy this summer.
So could you tell us about your recent mixtape that's out?
Yeah, The Coming is it's the best mixtape this year from any artist in the country. I just have to say that. I just love the project so much. I had a lot of fun making the project, to be honest with you, because I didn't actually go into the studio to create a mixtape. I just wanted to do what I love and remind myself and remind everybody else what Smiler stood for. Well, I didn't need to remind myself what I stood for, but remind myself of what I love doing, because I feel like with music, when you're sort of going through the paces, you're dealing with the business side of it a lot too, and it can compromise the creativity, and I never want to lose that. So I just almost took a little recess to have fun with the music again, and I think it reflects in the project.
So with, like, the business and everything, where did you draw inspiration from, like, in terms of sound, and how would you describe your sound of the album?
My sound's really fresh. It's musical, but it's it's like real music meets electro, if that makes sense, meets rock, meets hip hop. Yeah, so it's a fusion. It just feels so energetic, so fun, so fresh, and I'm sure every artist, if you ask every artist the same question, they will tell you that their project, the best project. But I don't feel like anybody's made, a body of work like this in a very, very long time. So I'm looking forward to just, delivering it. I'm excited for everybody to hear it because I just feel like it's, it's innovative and it's different.
How was it working with Ed Sheeran, and what about the different artists that you're working with on the album?
Working with Ed's amazing. I mean, he's a talented musician. He's great at what he does. We've been speaking for quite some time. and to find the opportunity to actually put a piece of music together that complements both of us, I think it's a special moment, you know. And I feel like it's pretty similar to me working with Lizzie Grant, who turned out to be Lana Del Rey. It was just a song that sort of like reflected what the two artists stood for. And when you listen to it, you get the best of both worlds. And I feel like it's the same with Ed. You know, his involvement in the song, it's not obvious. You know, it's more of a musical feature. He's playing the guitar riff, and he's doing a few ad libs in the chorus. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not your obvious Ed feature, which I think makes it that little bit more special.
What would you say, like subject matter wise? What was your middle ground with Lana Del Rey and Ed Sheeran?
Well, with Lana Del Rey, I pretty much had the song in my head. I just needed her to sing the hook because it was a rendition of Shirley Bassey's Big Spender. So her template was pretty much laid out for her, but it was the tone of her voice, it was her sound, it's what she stood for. You know, she's very 1950s-esque in terms of sound, and you know, she's very classic, so it made a lot of sense. With Ed, Ed doesn't necessarily make party music, which I feel is really interesting because, you know, Brand New Style is a party song. But, his offering, I don't think it can be put into a category or a box. He just vibed with the song and did what the song commanded, so, you know.
So your name's Smiler, so you gotta be funny. Like, you gotta be funny. Is there any accents you can do?
I can do a couple of accents, yeah. I had an interview with I Am Music TV, and they asked me to do a Scouse accent. I did a Scouse accent.
What is that?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Okay, for Americans, just all the same.
It's all the same.
Whole British, whatever. No, I'm joking. Now that I've been here, I've learned that there's many different accents. Yeah. So what is like one accent you're like really good at?
I don't know if I'm good at it, but I enjoy it because I think the Scouse accent's funny. Do you know what I'm saying? And like Liverpudlians, they just know how to enjoy themselves, have a good time, and it just always seems like they're being comical when they talk, even though they're not, which is actually pretty rude. But
could you rap for us?
Rap, whoa.
In the Liverpool accent.
I don't think I could rap well in a Liverpool accent. I've never.
Oh, come on, you got to.
I don't think I could do that.
Okay, how about this? Try my accent, and I'm gonna try your accent.
You want to try rap? Whoa,
you're gonna rap whoa in this accent. Come on, you're Smiler. You gotta be funny.
So you want me to rap well in an American accent,
yes.
right?
Okay, well, let's start with hi. My name is Smiler.
Hi, my name is Smiler.
Doesn't sound like me.
Oh, you want to say it? Hi, my name is Smiler.
Okay. Now rap whoa.
In your tone as well.
My tone.
My flow will light you up quick as a dynamite stick. Is that close? Is that my cool? Yeah. No, that's it. That's all I got. Now you got to do it in my accent.
No. You got to do it in my accent.
Close, close.
Hello, my name is Smiler. How you doing?
I'll give you a squeeze.
A little bit, right? Okay, thank you so much for being with us. It was really fun hanging out with you. Okay.
Thanks for your time. God bless. Thanks for your time. Peace.